Father, when you hear that word, what do you think about? What goes across your mind when you close your eyes and you hear the word Father? What type of feeling does that bring up? Do it strike a chord in you? Let's think about that. Welcome to the F Word, a podcast where we discuss all things fatherhood, from what the world expects, the truth, the lies, and everything in between. Here, we're breaking barriers with open conversation, real conversation about, with, and for fathers. I'm your host, Quincy. I'm a father as well to a 10-year-old girl. I have my own story to tell as we travel this journey of fatherhood. I created the F word because I felt the need to express the depths of fatherhood, how far it reaches, and what being a father actually looks like. From real dads, real conversations, doing real things. First, I like to plug Banana Bag. You can't see it right now, but that's all I'm wearing. What's in your bag? Shout out to Tootie. Go check them out. They got nice, fresh gear for the summer, for the winter, for the fall coming up. Check it out, Banana Bag. Father. What does it mean to be a father? The word father is defined as a man in relation to his child or children. Relation can be actual DNA or stepfather as a plus parent. You just came into these kids' life at a certain age and you picked up where their other dad left off. You're not replacing anyone. We're not saying we replace anybody over here. We just do our job, our best job to be another person that kid or those kids can count on. Fatherhood, on the other hand, is a state of being a father encompassing the mental, the physical, and the spiritual well-being of that father. Fatherhood is a wide variety of things. I like to just break it down into those things because it's easier to pinpoint what you're talking about or what we mean when we're talking about everything that has to do with the father. It's literally everything. We often, the world, even other males, we often perceive the father role as that of a leader, protector, and provider. What does being a leader, protector, and provider looks like? I feel like some of those things, they differ from each situation. You lead by example. Of course, you want to lead by example, shall I say. You want to be the best protector you can from physical, mental, and spiritual dangers that your child may come across as they maneuver through this world. And providing, I feel that one thing is the one thing that's unshakable. That definition of a father is pretty concrete. And when I say provider, a lot of people, a lot of the world is going to quickly hone in on providing something financially, something of financial value. But what I feel out of all of those three things I named, provider is the number one thing. because you can provide a healthy environment by being there, showing up, keeping your word. You can be a provider by providing the actual house and home for that child, food on the table. You also can be a provider by providing a healthy image of what a father actually is and what a father actually does. While every father is different in their day-to-day activities, providing that correct image should be number one. But what does that look like? Like I said, each father is different in their day-to-day activities, but providing a healthy environment for that child to grow is key. That means direction. That means discipline. That's not beating your child. I ain't saying beat your child. We ain't doing that. But it's discipline when that child needs it, when correction is needed. And examples explaining. I'm never one of those parents that feel like my kid can't ask me no questions. No, go ahead. Ask me what's going on. I will tell you why you finna get this whooping. Why you getting your PlayStation taken. There's no manual or playbook provided on day of delivery, fellas. Not one of us got a playbook handed to us with the baby attached, saying this is going to happen at this age, do this. This is going to happen at that age, do this. You know, we all know learning to be a dad is a gradual process. You try things out. You ask questions from other dads. You may even pick up a book or a podcast or two. But we learn by making mistakes. And sometimes we make even bigger mistakes. I know a lot of us thought about something we did as soon as I said that. But through those mistakes, during that journey, we learn and we grow. Not all fathers are on the same path. But I believe it's never too late to try again. Building relationships with kids, with your child, I feel as a father, that's your job. After all, we're all now on the same path. With different fathers doing different things. But I feel that one goal is to create better humans for the next generation. Do you agree? So let's explore the unique differences that make each father's journey special. Here on the F word, I feel that open conversation about the depths of what being a father actually is will only further the correct narrative that we want to put out there. I know we all have gotten those, well, you're a dad, you should be doing this. You're a dad, you should be feeling this. That's not always true. That's not always right. There are some burdens that we do have to bear. But let's put the correct narrative out there so people see, so the world understands that a father is not this cookie cutter image that the world produced. Simple fact of, well, you should be doing this or you shouldn't be doing that. Not only have time changed, but the ability to access information, real information, true information, allows us to be better fathers, be better humans. Before it was frowned upon for a man to express himself or to feel sad, feel down. How dare he? You're a father. You're supposed to come home, go to work, bring home the bacon, and shut up. Sit on that couch and read the newspaper. How many? I guarantee some of y'all thought about your grandparents when I said that. Thought about your grandfather. Y'all saw him. Thought about your dad even. You saw him. Even yourself. Wake up, go to work, come home. Make sure everything, the bills is paid. But how are you feeling? How are you really feeling today? How are you feeling? How did you feel yesterday? That's what we're going to dive deep into here on the F word. That's why I named it the F word. Because it's just so encompassing of a father. You don't know what to expect. Catches you off guard a little bit. Makes you think. When I say father, what do I think of? A lot of fathers don't even smile. Y'all know that? A lot of fathers go through their daily without smiling because of everything that they have on their shoulders. But here on this podcast, we're going to shine the light on each one of those fathers that feel unheard, unseen. All the ones that you're tired of being misunderstood, we're going to put it out there. Fatherhood, it's a journey. It's a journey you learn. It's some things that you like, some things you don't like. Not even to get into the relationship that you may or may not have with the other parent that you have to co-parent with. I will say, before becoming a dad, I had my own thoughts and my own feelings about what was going on, what was going to happen. Some was right. Most of them was wrong for the most part. And I got through a couple curveballs. As men, we don't really think like a white picket fence and how many kids, but we do know that once we become a father, that, we kind of try to have a plan, get a good job, find a good girl, marry her, have kids. Sometimes it don't work out like that, whether for the good or for the bad. I will say though, but now that child is here. So what do? You roll with the punches. You call a couple audibles. Being a father is always to me, like being a point guard or a quarterback. You have the ball in your hands a lot. You make a lot of decisions for a lot of people. You have to deal with attitudes. You have to deal with your own attitude. And you got to pray that day in and day out, you make the right decision for not just right now, but moving forward. I will say that I love that part though. Being able to help shape and mold a little one's is the highest honor. You couldn't ask for anything else. To have someone looking up to you for whatever reason. I think something that I've learned big about since being a father is patience. And I know everyone everywhere speaks about patience, but I feel you really learn that after becoming a father. You don't know how much of a rush in your time that you were on beforehand. Before having a kid, you don't think about that. You just living your life at your speed. You have a kid and you either have to slow down or speed up. For me, I was in the middle. I was a little slower going along with life, thinking I was going to play basketball somewhere. And then real life hit me, got a job, found a lady, had a baby. And I had to pick it up. I had to learn different things. But I also had to be patient with myself. I had to be patient with learning that this is a new child that doesn't know anything, that I will have to teach everything to, along with my village. I'm not going to sit here and say, fatherhood, just sit on top of this pedestal and rain from the top of the mountain. No, I have a village that keeps and helps me maintain order in my life and their lives as well. I will say that is another thing I've learned. Having a strong village is key to everyone's growth, especially that little one. I also learned how to be really kind, not that fake kind, like you letting someone over in traffic, but real kind, like genuinely from the depths of your heart, finding a different level of kindness in you that you didn't even know existed. I also learned how to be way, way more nurturing. When you hear that word, you quickly go over to the other side and think mom. While moms are by nature nurturing, as of being a father, you as well have to be nurturing. You can't be hard all the time. You can't be this sword rock all the time, Mr. Discipline. You got to serve that other side to let your kids know that it's okay to have that other side. It's okay to hug, to hold, to love, to kiss. There's not a day that go by that I don't tell my daughter that I love her. Also learn vulnerability. It's okay to be open with something hurting you. After becoming a father, my feelings have been hurt a lot. And other fathers, you can attest to this. I've definitely had my feelings hurt. But being vulnerable and being open to it and learning how to manage those feelings when you're hurt is another thing I learned since becoming father. While fatherhood have taught me a lot about myself, I've also seen the lenses of the world on fatherhood and what they expect, whether good or bad. Just interesting. Right now, I like to plug my business, Beyond Solution. A clean space is a safe space. Book us today for your junk removal, carpet cleaning, and commercial needs. We'll customize a specialized package directly for you. Let's do something. What's something you thought about before becoming a father? Or even after? Leave it down in the comments on how that feeling or thought has changed and grown or being reaffirmed since you became a father. Don't forget to follow the F word, the THEF word, WORD podcast on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And until next time, remember, you're doing a good job.